Good afternoon, class. I thought I would just take a moment to walk through the course itself just to give you some tips on where you should be looking at various things that are really important. I'm right now looking at the class as you see it. And what I wanted to point out were some very important places that you should be looking. First and foremost, the events place right over here. This should tell you exactly what's going on, what you should be looking at, what discussions, for example, are up and running. But if we look through here, I've posted many important links on the front page. If you don't see all of them, click Show All to make sure that you are seeing every single note that I've posted. This is where I'll be posting most of my communications to you. If not there, I'll also be sending out mass emails to clarify certain positions. If you look up here along the bar here, you see course home, content, discussions, Dropbox, quizzes, grades, class list, attendance, etc., etc. What I'd like you to do is when you are on your course homepage and you see nothing new or interesting, if you click on content, you'll notice that every week something new and fresh and different appears. The previous week's lessons will disappear. If you look here at the course content, I've tried to make everything very simple and very upfront. Your discussions, required discussions, this is everything that you'll have to write in that week. For instance, this first week was about you, about me. Week 1 discussion part 1, week 1 discussion part 2, as well as chapter discussion. If you look here, the journal, that's a quick link to the Dropbox where you will be attaching all of your journal files, which should be in doc or docx files, and you'll be able to submit by adding file. Okay, I'm going to go back to content. Every single time you log on, what I'd like you to do is click on discussions. And if you have questions, first and foremost, I'd like you to scroll down to online course questions and click there. A lot of times I address questions that have been posed, and I'd like everyone to just get into the habit of reading through my responses as well as the posted questions by your peers. Usually this will clarify whatever questions you have. If you still have a question about something, make sure that instead of emailing that question, go ahead and click on Compose and write your question. All right. Dropboxes, there are only 5 Dropboxes in this class. First is, you'll see all the course essays, and then the journal. Again, that journal you can find if you click on Content. The Dropbox, the quick link to that Dropbox is right there. All right. Another thing that I find really disconcerting about Desire to Learn is that I don't see your name on emails. So when you're ready to send me an email, please make sure that you follow professional guidelines for emailing. This is a writing course. I don't want to see emails that substitute the letter U for, the word you, Y-O-U. I don't want to see text jargon. I don't want to see anything of that nature. You should be supplying me with, Dear Aaron, comma, then begin the next paragraph with your message, and then a closing, sincerely, best, cheers, comma, next line, your name. If I don't know who it is, I will address you as anonymous student. And it's kind of irritating. So please make sure you're being very professional and sending off messages. Everything should be in proper spelling, punctuation, and grammar. As well, in discussions, you should be making sure to, write as well as you possibly can. I shouldn't see grammar errors. I shouldn't see spelling errors. If you don't know the difference between there, and there, or to, and to, effect, and effect, you need to start looking those things up in the Front Range Writer 2009 to 2010. Likewise, when you're posting in discussions, especially in the discussion blogs, I should see paragraphed entries. For instance, When I hit compose, you need to have a title. Please do not submit without a title for the subject line. So excuse me, this is just a test. When you come down here, make sure that it's in paragraph style. You don't have to indent the paragraphs. It's acceptable to, not indent the paragraphs. That does not apply to papers. Papers should be paragraphed appropriately, but this causes some problems here. When you type a paragraph, this is a paragraph, period. If you hold down the shift key and the return key, if you hit that twice, that'll put a space between the paragraphs. And so on and so forth. I shouldn't be seeing one paragraph like this entry right here. I shouldn't see one paragraph. I want to see several paragraphs. Like I said before, if you're having issues, make sure that you're asking questions. What I'd like to say is if you're working in Word, you should be able to do a word count. By the way, if you're working in Word, if you go to Format, Document, the default is 1 1/4 inch on left and right. It should be 1 inch on both sides. So make sure that you're adjusting that. You can set it as default. But if you go up to Tools, you'll see word count right there. Some people are having issues with trying to get materials copied and pasted either from Desire to Learn to Word or from Word to Desire to Learn. If you're having those issues, please contact me and let me know, and we will try to work that out. I am using Safari as my web browser, and I'm not having issues with copy and paste. If you are having issues and you're using Internet Explorer, try another web browser, for instance, Firefox or Mozilla. But I've really found that Safari is very stable and it works very well for the course. All right, well, those are just a couple of things I wanted to attack right off the bat. Everyone's doing a really great job, and I really am excited about this semester. Let's just make sure that we're using proper decorum in emails, and that you're properly paragraphing the discussions that you're writing. And make sure that you're going through online course questions every single day so that you can see what's been asked and answered. If your question hasn't been answered, then ask it in online course questions. Do not email me unless it is of a personal nature. All right, thank you so much, and I hope that you're enjoying yourself.